Hey everybody, this is Charlie Epstein, America's 401k coach, and I'm here today to respond to John Oliver. Hello, John. John Oliver of The Daily Show recently took a swing with a bat at my industry, the financial services industry and the 401k industry, and wants you to believe that he is now an expert, or his show, on my industry. What's all the argument about? So, John, you're talking about that today the Department of Labor, the U.S. government, wants everybody to be a fiduciary, and that it's better to be a fiduciary than a salesman, a broker, or registered rep. So I want to make sure everybody understands the distinction. What does it mean to be a fiduciary? Let's step back. First of all, you're the consumer. You want to have choice. That's what makes America great. We have choice, not regulation. So as a consumer, you want to work with somebody who has your best interest in mind. That just makes sense. What does it mean to work with somebody who's a fiduciary? A fiduciary has a duty of loyalty and a duty of prudence to you. I need to do what's in your best interest every day that we have a relationship until that relationship ends. What's the difference between a fiduciary and a registered rep or a broker? A broker or a registered rep is regulated by FINRA. That's another body. The Department of Labor regulates fiduciaries. FINRA regulates brokers. A broker has a duty, what's called a suitability standard. If you buy something from a broker, they need to make sure it's suitable, that it's still in your best interest that day. So here's what you need to know about me. First, I'm a fiduciary. I'm also a registered representative who's regulated by FINRA. By the way, the Department of Labor regulates me as a fiduciary. FINRA is another government agency that regulates me as a broker-dealer. Now, if you come to me, I'm actually wearing two hats. Fiduciary hat. What's in your best interest? Duty of loyalty, duty of prudence. But if you now say to me, Charlie, you've put together a financial plan for me, I paid you a fee to help me figure out all the things I need to do to be financially independent with reduced financial anxiety and create a paycheck for life. And then you say to me, Charlie, what about my investments? What about my insurance? Can you help me there? Well, I got to take off that hat, put it down. I'm not, watch, it's not magic. I'm now going to put on my registered rep hat and say to you, we're now going to have a separate engagement. If I acted as a fiduciary and we created a financial plan for you, don't you think it just makes sense that I go find the right tools and products to solve that problem? What do I mean by that? This is a toolbox. Now, if you wanted to build a house, do you want to work with a carpenter who can use the entire toolbox or only half the toolbox? I'm going to let this sink in. It may take you a while to figure out the answer to the question. And why I'm doing this is because the government, FINRA, the Department of Labor, my state insurance regulators, this SEC, the government thinks as a consumer you're stupid and couldn't answer that question. I kid you not. Read. Let me tell you something. This new enforceable fiduciary standard of care that the Department of Labor just came out with, it's over 1,000 pages long. Seriously? Written by lawyers. To do what? To control the consumer's behavior, really, to try and control my behavior so that I don't do what? Screw you as a consumer. 1,000 pages? Are you kidding me? Do you think anybody's going to really read that? Let's go back to the toolbox. When you want to build that house, do you want to have a carpenter who has a full toolbox or half a toolbox? Well, I'll tell you what, I want a carpenter who can use the whole tool and not half the tool. Tony Robbins, Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey, and John, now you want your financial advisor to work with half a toolbox and half the tools.